Welcome to another edition of the Business and Personal Podcast, where we bring you closer to the people that you do business with or show you people that are doing great things in the community. And today we're excited to be joined by Kim Pietrylka-Miller. She's the Vice President of New Horizons Rehabilitation Services. She's been there for over 20 years. She started there, left, and they brought her back. So that shows you how much she loves being there. So first of all, Kim, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you, Ryan, for having me.
So give people a little idea on your background of why you were at New Horizons, left, and then came back.
Yeah, so I started back in 1997. I decided to leave one time to go into the private sector. Didn't like it as much, so I came back to the nonprofit world. They welcomed me back. Then I had children, so I left again. And then after they were all grown up, I came back, and I've been with New Horizons this last time since 2011. So yeah, I've been just working my way up the chain and loving everything I do over there. So it's got a soft spot in my heart. I love that place. So
well, and you're doing awesome things there, and I'm excited to have you on because it's very interesting. As I was doing research for this podcast, it's like, when I drive around, all I see is help wanted signs and people, employers desperately trying to find employees, and just a lot of people not motivated to work. And what New Horizons does, is you're going to explain, is you work with those people that would love to be employed but have barriers to that. So just give people a little idea of exactly what New Horizons does.
Yeah. Well, so quite simply, what New Horizons, what we do is we provide employment opportunities for individuals facing barriers to employment. We've been in business for 57 years, and we provide services in Oakland, Macomb, Western Wayne, and Genesee counties.
So who exactly do you help? What individuals are kind of like the prime candidates to work with you?
Yeah, so we provide services to a variety of different people. We primarily support persons with disabilities, such as those with cognitive or developmental disabilities, autism, mental or physical impairments. We also work with persons with that are blind or have visual impairments, or those that are deaf or hard of hearing. So all my staff are properly trained and credentialed. I also have staff that have specialized training to work with certain populations, such as those that are blind and deaf. We have worked with veterans and persons in the prison reentry system. We also work within many school districts and assist students in high school and post-secondary education to transition them to the world of work.
And I always feel like there's something for everybody out there, and you're just that key cog that makes that connection and maybe helps them find things that they couldn't find on their own. Is that basically how it works?
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely.
So give me a little more specifics on exactly some of the programs that you have available.
So we have a lot of programs and services that someone could benefit from, but I know we're limited on time, so I'll just give a brief overview because I could sit here for hours, right? But we do have detailed programs and services descriptions on our webpage for anyone that wants to check that out, and that's at www.newhorizonsrehab.org. But New Horizons, what we do is we provide vocational skills training to help one develop and improve their skill set. We assist with job searches, everything from resume writing to helping one prepare for the interview. We provide extensive vocational evaluations. So that's to determine one's strengths and barriers. And then what we do is we develop a game plan for their success. And then once somebody has obtained employment, we can offer job coaching to help with that ease of learning their new job duties. We use a variety of different resources to help that individual maintain employment. One of these resources is something new that we've been working with, but it's called the Avail app. And this is an app that's on a phone or a tablet, and it provides like a cheat sheet or prompts, reminders, so that that individual can complete their work tasks and gain independence. So then they won't need that job coach there all the time. And then, as I stated earlier, we work in many schools. We provide classroom training as well as work experience for the students. Wish I had that when I was growing up, but anyway, but we teach everything from like soft skills to safety. We provide transportation options. And then we also provide training on how to use public transportation, because not a lot of people know how to actually, navigate. But we make sure that the students are well equipped to move on to their next life phase, which is, the world of work. When many individuals will come to us, they really have no idea what they want to do for employment, or if they have an idea, they may not understand what the job specifically entails. We have great connections in our communities, and we can offer that individual like job shadows and informational interviews with employers, so then that they can see for themselves what the job is all about. They can ask questions, so they'll get a better understanding before deciding on a particular career path. A lot of people come to us and they say they want to work with pets. And then they go to a veterinarian and realize when they take the temperature of a cat where it goes. And they freak out and say, nope, I'm not doing pets. So they love the pets when they get to hold them and cuddle with them, or, stuff like that, but not when it comes to cleaning out a cage or any kind of medical stuff. So it's interesting when you see, and that's okay. That's okay when somebody makes the decision not to do that job, because that just means we'll cross that off the list and we'll move on to something else. Another very popular program we have is our summer pre-ETS program, and that's a pre-employment training program. It is a great opportunity for students to gain work experience during a 6-week summer program. So these students are placed at a business based on their vocational interest, and they're earning minimum wage, learning how to complete that job. The students always have a job coach with them to, help assist and train them. But this program has been so successful. We've been doing this for several years now, because the students, they get a feel for what it's like to earn a paycheck. You have parents, they love the fact that their kids are being productive and learning new skills other than video games. And then we have the employers, they enjoy having these students. Some of them just call every fall, they call us and ask if we're gonna have the students back. Some of these businesses will even offer these students employment at the end of that 6-week program. So it's a great opportunity. Another thing that we offer, and we found that it's so needed, is we offer Social Security benefits counseling. So I have a WIPA and a CWIC certified staff. They provide that counseling for individuals and or their families, because Social Security it's a topic that many find intimidating. It's difficult to understand, but again, so important that they understand the impact that, an income, a certain amount of money that's coming in is going to have on their benefits. So that's a big topic no matter where you are. But so these are just a few of examples of what New Horizons can offer. All of our services, they're individualized, and people have choices when they come to New Horizons. You have choices. We take a person-centered approach because we want to see them succeed, period. I mean, that's just the end goal.
So many layers to what you do there. Wow, you really don't leave any stone unturned, and that's the ultimate goal, right? Is for someone to make it through the program and then be able to navigate kind of on their own.
Absolutely.
There. So let's go back. You had me intrigued with the student opportunity then. So what does that entail? Are there opportunities coming up yet this school year for students to take part?
Yeah, so for the students, that are in like the post-secondary programs, high school, we work with those students in a transition program where we actually are teaching them those skills. That's where I said earlier, I wish I had something like that, because, your dad just told you you're going to grow up, you're going to be a lawyer, you're going to be a doctor, they just tell you that and you're like, okay, whatever. But these students just get so much exposure to just everything out there. And it's a wonderful program. And I love the fact that we're starting young, so that these kids can, again, it's okay to cross something off your list. You can go on to the next thing that interests you, and we'll find a perfect match. We have programs, it's called customized employment. And we work with individuals, whether they're students, whether they're, ready for, just as long as they're ready for work. And we basically customize that perfect job. And it is a great relationship, because we're not only customizing it to meet that person's abilities, but we're also meeting the demands of that employer. So it may not be what, a particular job that they have posted. It may be something like, I don't want to say carved out, because it's more customized. And I'm telling you, it's like a match made in heaven. It's like the perfect fit for not only the individual, but the employer. So, and you find out that people that are placed through customized employment will have longevity. They'll stay at these jobs because it is perfect. But it's a lot of work. It's hard work, because, you have to work with those employers, and there's a little bit of give and take here. But at the end of the day, it works out great.
Pays off in the end, absolutely. So for any parents maybe that are listening to this, or students, what age range of people do you normally work with?
So typically we start with ninth grade, which is some like transition programs, some soft skills, some classroom work. We have them, going out into the communities. We do have students that need work permits. So we help them with the work permits to make sure that they're able to go out there. A lot of times the heavy emphasis is your 11th and 12th grade, because what are they going to do after graduation? Sometimes college isn't, for everybody. So let's look at trade schools. Let's look at, another skill set that we might want to tap into. So we help uncover those, and we work with the individuals and their parents. I mean, sometimes kids just don't know what they want. And
Right.
so, because we have to make sure that they have transportation, moms and dads work. So that's why, we have to make sure that the student is well prepared, because sometimes we can't have the parents always driving them to and from, and they don't have driver's license. Sometimes we've helped students, go through the driver's ed class. So there's a lot of barriers, and you just got to peel them back one by one, and then you get those successes, and it's just great.
Also, what about potential employers that might be listening to this that are trying to expand further, looking at other avenues to find employees because the traditional ways just aren't working anymore?
Yeah.
Can they connect with you as well?
Yes, absolutely. And we're fortunate. We do have many businesses and community partners, but we are always looking for more. So just to give your audience a taste of, who we actually work with, we have a lot of retail businesses, because of course everyone wants to work in retail. So, Myers, Kroger's, you got TJ Maxx Corp, Pottery Barn. We work with a lot of restaurants because, with food prep and serving, we work at like Applebee's, Chili's, Ford's Garage. We then have connections with Greenfield Village and Henry Ford Museum. We work with a variety of hotels like the Hampton Inn, and they'll be doing things, like laundry services. They'll do room cleaning, just a lot of different things. We do have great relationships with churches within our communities, childcare, nursing homes. We have even partnered with an art studio called Paint a Miracle. And this is where some of our individuals, they'll attend to learn skills, and I'm telling you, they create this impressive artwork. We also have relationships with hospitals such as Troy Beaumont and Royal Oak Beaumont and Henry Ford West Bloomfield. This is through our Project Search program. Again, this is for students, and it's a unique, like 1 year business led, because it's the business host site, which would be the hospitals, and it could be anything. There's Project Search with DTE and Consumer Energies, but it's a school to work transition program, and these students will work in the hospitals, and they do 3 internship rotations. And I'm telling you, it gets them ready for the world of work like nobody's business. It's serious, they have to be committed. But at the end of their internship, these hospitals will offer them employment if, they have the position available and there's a good fit. But a lot of parents really like that program. Other employers that we have connections with, we got auto dealers, mechanics, engineering firms, great relationships with our local cities. Waterford DPW is a popular one for us. Libraries, fire and police stations. We have, and then part of that pre-ETS program, we will also work with the county parks and recreation. So we have students that go out to the parks and do, cleanup and maintenance out there. Another New Horizons, we have a huge contract with the U.S. government. We sew grid fleece drawers, which is also known as long johns for the military soldiers. So and people don't have to be, perfect on sewing machines or anything like that. There's a lot of other steps that is included in this whole project. But if they want to be trained, we'll train them on, the industrial sewing machines. But as long as they have an interest in sewing, they could sew long johns for the military. So as you can see, we have a lot of amazing connections in our communities. And that makes it easier for us to assist someone in their job search. And if we don't have the connection, we'll make one. One of the individuals that came through our door wanted to explore like pilots and airplanes. Like, what are we going to do with that? But we ended up making a connection, and that person could see what it was all about. So like I said, it's great that I would love for employers, to reach out, because there's something that, I mean, they may not have an idea, but my gosh, I mean, we have, all these individuals we're working with in different skill sets that, we could help meet their needs.
I just think with everything that's happened in the last couple of years, everybody's had to look outside the box of the way they've always
Hmm.
done things. And yeah, I mean, this would be, in my mind, a great way for employer and potential employers to
Hmm.
kind of expand their reach for sure. So, what about events coming up, Kim? Anything that people can participate in, or just someone that's listening to this, like, man, I just want to help them out in some way or somehow.
Yeah,
What do you
yeah.
have coming up?
So we just hosted our 58th annual award ceremony last week, but we do have a charity auction every year in April. And in September, we have our annual golf outing. But in addition to those three events, like I said, we are always looking to expand our footprint in the communities. And I encourage folks to reach out to us and see how we can collaborate. We we do a Christmas tree decorating contest in Rochester. Uh, we are passing out meals to senior citizens through the Meals on Wheels. So our staff and individuals, they're always looking for ways to help and make a difference in their communities, because it also teaches our individuals a skill set. So, we're helping out the communities, but they're also helping out the individuals by, teaching them that skill set. Another great connection I have made is working with local colleges and accepting student interns. I've had great partnerships with Oakland University, Grand Valley State University, Oakland Community College, and Baker College. We've been hosting students in the social work programs, both at a bachelor's and now recently at a master's level. But the bachelor's, I think we've been doing that for about 9, maybe 10 years. But it's a great opportunity. And we also take interns in the occupational therapy program at Grand Valley. In addition to the colleges, we also offer high school students opportunities for community service hours. So like, let's say they're in the National Honor Society, they have to do those community service hours. We've done that for years. Even our own kids have gone through that. It's easy.
Wow.
Um, but again, we're always looking to hire people, people who are passionate about making a difference in someone's life, someone who sees past that person's disability and sees the opportunities. I always call them, I says, you're not so much a caregiver as you are like a dream maker. You want to make these people's dreams come true. And again, folks can go to our website and apply right there online.
Well, amazing. Like you're right. Like you could go on for hours
I know.
talking about all this stuff. And my main goal is just to give people a good awareness
Mhm.
of the great things that you're doing right now, and hopefully connect you to some people. And I know I can tell by the way you talk. You guys don't at New Horizons. You don't believe in barriers in any way,
Mm-mm.
shape, or form. But what do you look at? There's always like challenges and hurdles ahead. To continue to grow New Horizons, what are some things? I'm thinking in the mind of maybe someone that's potentially a donor to help you if it's finances that you need. What are some hurdles you see that you're trying to clear to continue to make New Horizons better?
So one of the hurdles, and gosh, well, what we're doing is I'm taking our agency and we are changing. It's called provider transformation. And what we're doing is we are trying to take an agency that has been established, like I said, for what, 57 years, 58 years, to then say, look, what we used to do is we used to have a lot of in-house work for our individuals. So we had them come, they were coming to work like a vocational day program, but it's so important that they actually get out into our communities and they're integrated into our communities. It's people with disability. I mean, they have a skill set. They should be working alongside you and I, shoulder to shoulder. They shouldn't be tucked away somewhere in a corner just because they have a disability. So this is something, back in the day, our agency was founded by a group of parents who wanted more for their kids after, high school or post education. And it's just it served its purpose then. It really did. But it's time to change, and it's time for, our communities to understand that people with disabilities are people with abilities, just different abilities. So this is something we've been working on for a couple years now, and it's a slow process, but you know what? One day we're going to get there. One day all the community is going to get there.
Absolutely. And you have plenty of success stories out there, and I'm going to put you on the spot here. Is there
Uh,
one that stands out that still to this day makes you really happy of a connection that you were able to
yeah, I was going to tell you, I could need a whole nother podcast to describe all
help?
these success stories that we have. But, last Thursday was our annual awards ceremony. So I had the privilege of announcing all the awards to some really well-deserving individuals. And you could tell, they broke down those barriers, they achieved the success. And what's amazing to me is the journey that these individuals took to get to their end goal. One of our award winners, she started working with us when she was in 9th grade in our school transition program, which goes through 12th grade. She graduated with honors, academic achievements, and was offered a $90,000 scholarship to Albion College. She wants to, do nursing. She wants to help people. I'm telling you, this young woman never let her disability define her. She was such an inspiration. I mean, it was just wonderful.
Well,
But you know
this
what? I also hand out awards to several businesses. So it's not just, all the people who broke down the barriers. We couldn't do all this, it couldn't be so successful if it wasn't for the businesses. So I handed out, awards to these businesses because they went above and beyond to support and encourage employment for persons with disabilities. And sometimes business owners, they want to hear from another business owner the benefits of hiring a person with a disability. They might be a little bit hesitant, but I have a lot of great employers who will rave about their experiences and who are so grateful to the individuals that they hired. Again, in a time where we're all experiencing a staffing shortage, our individuals have proven themselves time and time again. They are dependable, they want to work, they get excited to work, and they want to do a good job for the employer. So, like I said, sometimes it just takes another business owner to say or speak about the benefits that, they found by hiring a person with a disability. And like I said, little by little, it's going to trickle out in the community, and it'll just be like.
I'm glad I have a video version of this podcast because your smile and your excitement, it's so real. It's like you were meant to be at New Horizons. So it's a good thing that you came back.
Yes.
This is definitely the place for you, and you're making
Yeah.
such a big difference. So to kind of wrap it up, what is the best way for anybody to get involved, whether it's someone that's looking to work or an employer looking to hire? What's the easiest way to connect with New Horizons?
Yeah, so I think the best way to get in touch with New Horizons is to visit our webpage. So www.newhorizonsrehab.org. And you can find out more information about various programs on our website. You can apply for a job. We have a link for employers, so it's a call to action to help with their hiring needs. There are links to donate and participate in our fundraisers. And of course, my contact information is on there too.
Fantastic. Well, again, thanks so much for sharing the time with us, Kim. Keep doing the great things, and we'll catch up with you down the road.
All right. Thank you so much, Ryan, for having me.